What's going on, you guys? Little Game Boy 5 here, and today I'm going to be talking about why I love Black Ops 4. Why I think it's definitely a huge step up from the previous two Call of Duties we've had, and we've been waiting 3 years for this since Black Ops 3 in 2015, and I'm really glad that this is coming back for another round. And I'm going to be going mode by mode and talking about the multiplayer, zombies, and Blackout. And this is all my personal opinion, so you guys can take it with a grain of salt, obviously. This is what I think of the game personally, and I know a lot of people have opinions about Call of Duty, but this is my personal opinion about this particular Call of Duty, so take it with a grain of salt. And the multiplayer footage you're seeing right now is actually from theater mode. It's ripped from theater mode. I had a few B-roll clips set up, and it's a little glitchy. It doesn't show like gamer tags, or the kill cam's a little messed up, but that has issues. Treyarch still gotta fix it. I mean, it's only a couple days from launch since I posted this video. But let's get right into why I love Black Ops 4 and why I think it's probably my favorite. Starting with the multiplayer. The multiplayer is definitely a step up. I mean, it's still similar to past multiplayer experiences, where it's still Call of Duty, there's still typical core modes, but there's new modes like Control and Heist. Now, Control is basically like a mixture of domination and search and destroy, where all teams have lives, and there's two objectives to take over. There's B and A. Once you take over an objective area, it goes away and then you gotta do the next one. Or just kill everybody until they run out of lives and you win the round. So it's kind of like that search and destroy domination mix. And the next one is Heist. Now, Heist is basically having the CSGO type thrill, and also having the, where you can buy weapons, and all you start off with is a pistol. You gotta work your way to get more money, and, save up cash to buy attachments or buy new weapons. I think that's a pretty cool thing to have, and a pretty cool new mode to have, because having new modes and new content is something that the Call of Duty community really wants. But then again, the COD community definitely sends mixed signals to everything they see and everything that they do in the game, so we can't really trust what we can say. But as far as I know, I think it's good that they're adding new modes to this game, and they're going to continue to add new modes going forward. The next thing I do like about multiplayer is that the things that it makes it more tactical. So for example, if you're getting hit, you don't just regenerate health instantly. I did play this in the multiplayer beta, and it's pretty much a habit for me now. I've been playing the game for a couple days on both consoles, and I think it's definitely a habit for me. Like, every time I'm in a gunfight and I kill somebody, or I'm almost about to get killed by somebody and they miss the kill, I use the health stem all the time, and it's definitely a habit for me. It's not like I forget that, oh, you can't regenerate health, because I know that now. I played the multiplayer beta, and it's a pretty good experience. I know people might have to get used to it because they're not used to, regenerative health. They're usually used to that, but now that it's being replaced with the health stem, that you actually have to heal yourself when you're in combat, I think it slows it down, but in a good way. It's not like it's just saying, oh, this is too slow. It's not like that. I definitely think the combat is still fast-paced, like Black Ops 3's combat, and I definitely like the movement and set of Black Ops 3 and how it's fast-paced, and they transferred it into Black Ops 4, which makes it a really good game. So, and I definitely love using Ruin's grappling hook and his specialist ability. I think he's one of my favorite specialists to use, just because I like, I used Ruin so much in Black Ops 3. I got all his outfits, and I even got secret outfits from supply drops, but, that's supply drops. And the fact that they haven't added supply drops yet, although there's COD points, there's going to be COD points, we'll wait and see what Activision does with, the microtransactions and stuff, because we already know it's going to be in the game. I mean, let's be honest. But, we can't stop Activision, because AAA companies, so they gotta do what they gotta do to stay in business. But I definitely think the multiplayer is a good thing, because they kept it in there for the multiplayer community, just to play, free-for-all, team deathmatch, kill confirmed, a ton of other game modes. I do hope they add other game modes that were, cool. David Vonderhaar did say in a video that he's planning on adding prop hunt in one point, because he played it in World War II, so he's said that it might be added into multiplayer, which I definitely think is going to be cool, because I did play Prop Hunt in Black Ops 3 when they added it on PS4, and it was pretty fun, and I definitely think Prop Hunt in Call of Duty is probably one of the more fun modes, and that's why a lot of people played Modern Warfare Remastered before Black Ops 4 was even out. So I'm really glad that they're going to pay attention to most of this content and put it in the game, instead of just saying, oh, we're just going to add modes when we feel like it, when it's too late, when, two Call of Duty games are out. So yeah, I think that's what I think about multiplayer. I do plan on playing it some more, but as long as the other modes, I'm playing more of those modes than I am playing multiplayer, because I was never too much inside multiplayer. I was more into zombies, and but I play both equally, but my attachment is more to zombies than multiplayer at the moment. So multiplayer, I definitely think I'm glad they kept it in for the multiplayer community, and people can still play it and still have that Call of Duty feel from all the past Call of Duties while improving the gameplay. So I'm really glad that they did that. Speaking of zombies, in the past video, well, not video, but in the past topic, let's get on to zombies. Now, I do apologize that there's no audio in the background. I recorded this and I had my voice, but I just realized the recording was so shit, the way I was talking and stuff. It was late at night, it was during midnight release, so I really didn't have anything interesting to say in it. But I want to talk about zombies and the fact that there's more multiplayer maps to play at launch rather than just playing one map. That's a good thing, because I think you have a variety of maps. One map that you have to get with the Black Ops Pass, which, kind of sucks, but there's other 3 maps that are free on day 1. You got 9, you have Voyage of Despair, and then you have Blood of the Dead. Now, what I like about this zombies experience is that it's pretty difficult. It's actually probably one of the hardest zombies games I've ever played. I mean, it's not the maps that are hard. You can say Classified or 5 Remastered is hard. Yes, that can be true because of the tight corners and everything and the less training spots, but it's the gameplay and how they set it up. They made it where there's no jug, there's no speed cola, there's no double tap. I mean, there's no perks like we used to. There are some, but just, made differently than what we used to know. It's not like Black Ops 3, which I'm kind of glad they did. I know people might say, oh, but I want the perks back, that's what makes zombies. But here's the thing, if we're gonna have zombies every year, we gotta make it different, and I definitely think Treyarch definitely did it that way. They didn't want to make it the same thing like Black Ops 3, where you just have, gotta go get Jug, and then survive the map, and then survive a billion rounds. And he did say that the possible round is like 1,000 something. I heard that on Charlie Intel, and that's crazy. I just can't believe that can happen. But besides that, I think it's good, because if you have this gameplay mechanic where it's up to you, you have to realize that, you can't be a superhuman. You can have power guns and everything like that, but I definitely think, it's cool to have these sort of power-ups where you're not too powerful, but you can figure out a way to make yourself powerful. You just can't get Jug or Speed Cola, any of that stuff, but you can customize your weapons, you can pack-a-punch them, you can get these little mini perks, and, these gobblegums known as elixirs now, which pretty much have the same abilities, and they're the same name from Black Ops 3, so they're not, you can tell them apart. And they do have the thing in World War II where you customize your thing, you customize your abilities, but that's cool because they re-innovated it. I don't think I liked it in World War II, just because it didn't suit my playstyle, and I didn't play it too much. But this, I played so much of zombies in this game, and, I think the hardest map for me is Blood of the Dead, because not only is it just the map for Mob of the Dead that's remastered, but there's other areas to explore that weren't in the original Mob of the Dead from 2013. And, playing it, I think you just gotta play it more and more and get used to it. And then 9 and Voyage of Despair, they're actually pretty cool maps, and I definitely think that, playing them more, you get used to it. But that's with every zombies game. The more you play, the more you're gonna get used to. And, playing with friends, and the fact that they added bot support, which makes it cool, just because if you don't have any friends, you could just play with bots. I mean, they're not as good. The bots aren't really smart, because they just shoot infinite amount of bullets and just buy random guns, and then they have infinite bullets as well. It's weird, but it's kind of fun at the same time. I mean, you could do it to level up and stuff, I think, but who cares? And then the custom mutations, I definitely think, is probably the coolest thing they've added, because custom mutations allows you, okay, here, you can customize your options however you want. Do you want just boss zombies to spawn? Do you want just hellhounds to spawn? Do you want all doors open? Do you want the power on instantly? Do you want to start at round 50? Do you want these amount of points? Etc, etc. There's so much customization in this game that allows you to do so much stuff that you couldn't do before, that you couldn't do in any zombies game until now. And it's cool that Treyarch was the first people to do this, and I'm so glad for that. If it was any other developer, I definitely think it wouldn't have been fun. The only time I think a developer tried to do that, not the custom mutations, but adding a game mode, which we're going to get to right now, is Infinite Warfare with the boss fight mode. You can fight the bosses without doing the Easter egg steps. But the thing is, it didn't work, you know. A lot of people didn't like Infinite Warfare Zombies, and they kind of like just went to Zombie Chronicles because, you know, Zombie Chronicles was releasing in 2017, so it was fun to play, and many people played that instead of, you know, the new Infinite Warfare Zombies map. And, you know, with this new game mode Rush, I definitely think Rush is a good game mode and definitely a replacement from Grief, because in Grief and Black Ops 2, it kind of just dragged and kind of wasn't the fun game mode that everybody wanted to play. So they just went to this core survival game mode that Zombies is. And so I definitely think that Rush is definitely a good game mode to play in public match, play solo, or play a private match with your buddies. It's just a competitive game mode where you have a certain amount of lives, and you have to get as much points as you can. The mystery box is free, the wall guns are free, the pack-a-punch is free, the perks are free, and the doors open when the game says it's ready to go. And you have to go to these certain areas, or otherwise you're gonna get killed. And this adds so much variety to Zombies, where it's not just a core survival mode with one map to play over and over again, and then you get bored and then you go play something else. This has so much stuff that you can play right now when you get Black Ops 4 on, you know, PS4, Xbox, or, you know, on the Battle.net platform. So this is probably one of the coolest Zombies modes I've ever played. It's really hard, and I never thought the dogs would be the hardest thing to kill, but they're pretty cool. I mean, they're not hard to kill, but they're more dangerous because you don't have Jug and you go down in more hits. But they updated the hits on the video. You see it's 150, but they changed it to 200, where you have 4 hits instead of 3. So I'm glad they did that, because now it makes it a tiny bit more easier. I'm not saying it's more easy, because there are still things that are still difficult about it, but I'm glad they upped the health just a bit to make it a more fair, balanced game. And Zombies is, some people could say it's complicated. For me, I just say it's probably a great mode, and definitely a great way to innovate Zombies into something different that's not the same thing we saw 3 years ago. So I definitely saved the best for last, and this is the mode Blackout. This is something that replaced the campaign, which many people were upset about, but for me, I definitely think it's one of the great Battle Royale modes to play. I mean, for me, campaign, yes, I understand. There are memorable characters that we've played throughout many of the Call of Duty campaigns, but think about this for a second. If there's a campaign you enjoyed, there's still to be enjoyed, and there's still kind of stories that you can still develop. Even Black Ops 4 has a Specialist HQ, which goes into each Specialist story and backstory about how they ended up into the Black Ops 3 universe. Now, you can't say that, oh, it's just a multiplayer game like, you know, like Battlefront 1, where there wasn't really too much story. You can still get your story in any of these modes. There's still things to be had here. And the Blackout mode, I definitely think, is probably one of the best Battle Royale games I've played. PUBG and Fortnite have failed to impress me, pretty much. I mean, PUBG lagged like crap, and it was slow-paced combat that I didn't enjoy. On Xbox, it was awful. And then Fortnite, I just never really got into the hype. Everybody was saying it was the greatest thing on the planet, but it was just glitchy mess, and, you know, just something that Epic Games wanted to cash in on something that PUBG was doing successfully. And, you know, just the building mechanics alone were just pretty annoying. So I never liked Fortnite, and I'm really glad that this game came out. I played it so much during the beta that I just had to play this game on its own. You know, and I definitely think they made a lot of adjustments from the beta to the core game. And, you know, making the armor just more, not as powerful as it was in the beta, and getting the time to kill more correct. Battle Royale is definitely a great thing in this game, and many people can criticize it. I mean, you can criticize it for just not being like Fortnite or PUBG, but those games still exist. Those games are still out there, so you can't just say, oh, but this game is not like PUBG. Then you can go play those games. Those games are not going anywhere. They're still getting communities, so keep playing those games. But for me, I'm just going to be sticking with Blackout, because it's a Battle Royale that sticks to me. It has the Call of Duty mechanics. It has the world that Treyarch has built. It's the biggest thing they've ever made. So, what can we say? Well, if you're a Battle Royale fan, then Blackout is a good way to go. I mean, there are other games like Fortnite and PUBG where you can still find your fun in Battle Royale, but for me, I find a lot of fun in Blackout, because there's characters to play, there's a lot of weapons, there's not rarity weapons, it's basically PUBG and Fortnite mixed together. It doesn't have the building mechanics like Fortnite, and it doesn't have the slow pace, laggy content like PUBG. it mixes those two into something different. You have a PUBG game, you have a Fortnite game where you drop in areas. So this game, you can find your weapon, get some attachments, get a backpack, and get extra things like a grapple gun, 8 bangs. You know, I think the grapple gun is the most fun thing to use, and probably the most reliable thing to use if you find it. And also, there are gold guns, but the reason why they're gold is because they have a ton of attachments. Like, as you just saw in this video that's in the background right here, I found a gun that was gold because it had attachments. It's not like Fortnite where there's rarities. There's no rarities in this. It's just guns that you find, it suits your playstyle. If you want a sniper, then go find a sniper and fit it with the scope of your choice. If it allows it, there are attachments that are not allowed for certain weapons. But I definitely think this is pretty much a great Battle Royale mode that Treyarch has made, and Activision was able to support it, and I'm glad they did, because this just shows what a AAA company can do with Battle Royale. And it's not like Fortnite or PUBG where they're just early access scams that, you know, just say, oh, it's not a full game, it's just something you can play while we're still making money, ha ha ha. I mean, come on, man, that's not what I like. I mean, I like this game when it's full, and it's gonna get updates and characters and content alike. This is a game that knows what Battle Royale is, and I'm really glad that Battle Royale is here. Some people may be disappointed because of the campaign disappointment, but let's be honest, who really plays campaign? You only play it one time and then you never play it again, and then you just go to multiplayer. Most people play Call of Duty for the multiplayer than the campaign, although people do have respects for Call of Duty campaigns. But let's be honest, you mostly play multiplayer or the zombies. You really don't care about what's going to happen in the story unless you're a really die-hard fan of campaign. But Black Ops campaigns have been going everywhere after Black Ops 3's disappointment campaign. Where can the campaign really go from here? There's not really any place to start off of. Even if they wanted to do a campaign, there would be no place to start. Black Ops 3 had a very disappointing campaign, so why start from there? Why continue from what that was? So I'm glad they just did something that was original. They're going to be adding characters, they're going to be adding weapons, they're going to be adding content to give this game supportive. I guess the only criticism I can get is the Xbox version. I played it on Xbox One, and it seems as though whenever I play in duos or squads, the game just has some lag problems. I don't know if it's connection issues or if it's just, you know, frame rates of the Xbox. You're seeing the gameplay on PlayStation. All this gameplay I have is from PS4. But for some reason, I don't know why it just lags. It's probably my connection or just how the Xbox runs. Maybe Activision and Treyarch will add some updates to tune it up and make it more smooth. But that's just me. I don't know if that's been happening with you guys. Maybe it's just my console. I have no idea. But in short, Blackout is probably one of my favorite Battle Royale modes, and I'm going to keep playing it to this day with the new content Treyarch is going to be adding over the year. And I'm really excited to see what they come up with. So that's my review on Black Ops 4 and pretty much why I love this game. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe for more content. I will be posting more content over this year about Black Ops 4 and even Red Dead Redemption 2 when that gets released next week. I'm really excited to see what that game's gonna have. So hit the like button and I'll see you guys later.